Mr. Hakip, the cookies today at least, as a gesture of goodwill, did dismantle a lot of the roadblocks there. I want to ask you, are the cookies now looking in for a resolution?
Looking into the durability and duration of the conflict, it appears that both the central and state governments are not keen in bringing down the tensions or solving the problem that we are in. Every day the fighting continues unabated, and then since the day one, we have sought president's rule, we have sought imposition of AFSPA to control the mobs. We also sought about the change in the head of government in Manipur, but nothing happens. Look into the interview by Karan Thapar today with the chief of Meitei Lipun, Mr. Pramod Singh. He warned that unless the central and state governments do something, there will be a blow from Meitei that will wipe out the whole 15-kilometer stretch of Kampopi. This kind of warning from certain radical groups who are masquerading as cultural groups, isn't this an issue of national security? The thousands of Meitei Lipun Arambai Tengos are armed with 4,000 assault rifles, 5 lakhs of ammunition. Now they are freely roaming around in Imphal, attacking villages. Isn't that the issue of national security? We have to look into that issue also. On the other hand, the Kuki village guards are defending themselves. Today, 2 of them were killed by the security forces as well as the commandos in Sugnu area. So why can't we look into this? Why should we stop, attacking villages? Unless people attack other villages, they should not be disturbed. The security forces in the garb of area domination, they have been killing village guards day in and day out. So we have to look into this imbalance, into the kind of treatment of these 2 groups. So there has to be, a kind of re-evaluation of the plans and strategies in order to bring down the situation.
I want to bring in Kaushik Dekha into this conversation. Kaushik, there's been a long history of ethnic rivalry where Manipur is concerned. There have been more than one reasons what the violence that we've seen, the reason behind it. But what's the way forward? Because whatever guarantees were given with the Home Minister, whatever was set in, it's really clearly not being accepted or followed.
If you talk about way forward, the immediate way forward should be to investigate and find out why there are so many illegal weapons in Manipur. This time the violence is happening. It's not some kind of a riot that 2 ethnic groups are clashing with each other. What's happening is militant groups from both sides, they are indulging in violence and common people are suffering. Now that happens only when illegal weapons are very easily available, and that's true of most of the northeastern states. The geographical location, because we are surrounded by most of the external countries, and there is a very easy availability of an illegal smuggling of arms from across the border. So short-term goal should be to stop that and confiscate whatever illegal weapons are already out in open. So that's short-term thing. But the long-term thing is that howsoever you define it as ethnic conflict, and it's not about Manipur only, it happens in other parts of Northeast also. The primary reason is scarcity of land, and add to that lack of development in the region. So what happens is that whatever little resources are available, there is a tremendous pressure on that resource. So it could be this community, that community, certain privileges enjoyed by this community, certain privileges enjoyed by the other community. For instance, in Manipur, if you look at the Meiteis have the political power, but they do not have the geography, land, and the tribals like Kukis and Nagas, they would have the resources, land, but they do not have the development and political power. So there is some imbalance and there is mistrust, because political groups and political leaders quite often, as we have seen in the past, they add to that mistrust, because when the divide and rule is the common political norm. So long term, if we have to find a solution, then we have to find a balance in allocating resources and fast tracking the development in the region, so that there is not so much pressure on whatever resources are. Because if you notice, a lot of Manipuri youngsters, bright youngsters, they have already left Manipur, not because of the violence.